Welcome to the Yanagida Podcast Show, episode 32. I'm a special guest, man. I got Chazz Ishikawa in the house.
What's up? What's
handsome
up?
guy, man. Look at this handsome, fresh haircut. And
people actually say that good. Me and you look alike. The lady, yeah.
Dang. So, no, I'm excited. We got some questions from you guys who chimed in, so really appreciate it. So, yeah, let's actually kind of go right into it. But, Chaz, before we do that, what's it like as Mr. Ishikawa teacher? So where you at now? What's going on? All that.
Yeah, so right now I'm at Maui High School.
Yep.
It's my first year teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sucks that it's virtual first year. You know,
Yeah.
it would have been nice to have that face-to-face connection, but you know, that's how it is. And I always tell the students, just gotta adapt. You know, so we're right now I'm almost done with my certifications and all of that. So working on my tenure right now and going from there. Yeah. So.
Dang. So what are you teaching at Maui High?
Right now psychology.
Sociology.
Yeah. So which is perfect because that was my major in college. So one of the teachers after this COVID thing, she took a leave of absence and she was like, "You wanna slide right in?" And I was like, "Sure." Works out perfect because I was just substitute teaching at first,
Right.
waiting for something to happen. You know.
Right.
So.
See,
out.
there we go. It's a blessing, man. And for people curious, like, what is the background with like athletics or sports, or what's your background, Chaz?
Well, my background
Yeah.
personally, I played baseball all my life. I played some football here and there, but I mean, I wasn't real serious about it. One, because I wasn't too good, and I was always smaller too. So you know, but I played baseball all the way through high school to college. I went to a junior college out of high school, and then I went to a university. School after that. And
where was the university?
Montana State, Billings.
State,
Yeah, so it was D2 in Montana, Billings, Montana. And that's right when I met you, actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's when me and you first met, 2017.
Oh.
2016, 2017, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah.
4 years ago, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Dang. 4
So
years.
Went there after junior college, and then now I'm here. Just teaching and just trying to stay active, you know. And that was one of the questions too.
That's one of the questions.
Yeah.
Dang. So what do you do right now? I know that's probably one of the questions, but what do you do right now to upkeep your fitness?
To keep my fitness up,
Yeah.
I mean,
You still look good, man.
thanks, man.
You always look good.
Yeah, you too, man. You too. I learned it from you, but at Maui High School we have a gym, right? And I'm good friends with the weight training coach. So
who's that? That's
Keith Shirota.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's been actually helping me with like eating and lifting and all of this kind of stuff. He's a power lifter or ex-power lifter, ex-bodybuilder and stuff. So he kind of knows his stuff, you know? And so he's helping me with all of that stuff, and it's free. You know, I work out right at the gym there on my prep periods or on my lunch break. Yeah, so right at lunch.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just go there and then eat my lunch in my last period of the
You're
day.
good, man. You're good right there. Everything I
And then
food.
so from then on, and I just stay there every day, man.
Dang.
5 days a week. I try to go on the weekends too, but it doesn't always happen like that.
Hey, that's still good, man. 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, with that said, man, let's go into some questions, Chaz.
Yeah. So the first question.
Do you remember who it's from?
I don't remember who it was from.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a decent amount of questions. But the first one was, what motivates you to be active, and how can people find their motivation? I think this question is really based on lifestyle, right? For me, what motivates me to stay active? Obviously, like I said, I played sports growing up, right? I forgot to add in, I did like a little bit of martial arts and stuff. So I was always active, right? Even in the off season, I was doing something, right? My parents, ever since I was young, they never really let me sit around, right? It was always get up early, do some stuff, get going, whether it's stuff around the house or something outside, right? And so I think that kind of just stuck with me, man. And then coming here, when I came here in 2017, that's really when I started actually training, you know what I mean? And that's when I realized that just small talk with you, with Tyler, with all the guys here, you know, it was just that small talk that made me realize that, you know, I really do need to stay active for my health in the future, right? And so I understand I'm not like the biggest dude, the strongest dude out there, but I'm doing this more so for my health, right? And I think that a lot of individuals don't really understand that it's I'm trying to be proactive rather than reactive in life, you know what I mean? And just in really everything almost. So that kind of is what motivates me. Obviously trying to look good without a shirt on when I go to the beach, right? If we're being honest, you know, if I'm being real with you, right? I want to look good, right? And I'm not there yet, but you know, we're trying to get there. We're trying to get there, right? If we're being 100% honest. But yes, that's another reason. And yeah, just that's pretty much it. And what was the other one? It was, how can people find their motivation? Oh yeah, so like I said, it's kind of based on lifestyle, what you do as a person, I guess. And I think that motivation just comes within themselves. You know, I mean, there's a lot of outside factors, but at the end of it all, I think what everybody should do is do it for themselves, right, rather than somebody else, because at the end of the day, it's just you. So
especially any athletes too, they'll train because they have their coach tell them to, or as soon as it's done, you know, the people that continue on are the ones that stay healthy, stay active, and like what you're saying, like what you're doing now. So I really like that, how you're mentioning about it's individual, because it really is. And everybody has their story. And we probably talked about this a lot, but there's some sort of thing where you're being proactive about health. And it's almost like brushing our teeth, right? Like we don't want to just brush our teeth when we have a dental appointment coming up. Or when they say, oh, you guys get a cavity. Okay, now I'm going to brush my teeth. You know, versus like, oh, let me just brush my teeth and floss. Take care while it's healthy, so you don't have to worry about them. So I really like that, being proactive.
100%.
So, yeah, that's good. Because I was trying to think about what kind of, depends on the person too. Because if the person is like 50-something, I know a lot of times the motivation reason is family. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. 100%.
Like we're just talking to one of our members, Stephanie Dang. She's going to be 60 pretty soon.
Really?
And she's like, I want to just be healthy and active so that I can be around for my grandkids.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, that's a good reason.
Is she Taylor's mom? Taylor Dang's mom?
Related.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all auntie.
Okay.
Auntie, yeah.
Cool.
So I'm not sure how they relate, but she was like, yeah, I know Taylor. I was like, oh, dang. So there you go. Shout out if you guys watching this, Steph, or Taylor. So
solid.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's a good question.
What's the next question?
What's the next question?
What are some life lessons that you have learned throughout playing college baseball? Oh man, that's huge. That's a lot. A lot of stuff through playing college baseball. And I think this isn't just college baseball in itself. I know a lot of individuals who play other sports and also who haven't played sports in college, right? But just have attended college. And obviously it gives them a huge sense of independence, right? You're on your own. Mommy and daddy's not there to tell you, do your work, or, you know, take care of your household duties, you need to feed yourself, right? No, they're not there to do all of that stuff. So one, just like when I went to my junior college, we didn't have dorms. So we had to be in apartments. So I had to cook, clean, everything by myself, right? So I think that taught me a lot. And obviously the internet is a crazy tool, right? Yeah. It's a crazy tool. So, I mean, I learned how to cook. I learned how to do all kinds of different stuff on the internet. I never thought I'd be on Pinterest, right? But I was out there on Pinterest and Yelp looking up some stuff, right? And so that definitely taught me a lot. But the sport alone, man, I think the biggest thing that it taught me was, one, the ability to adapt to certain situations in life. Which also pairs along with overcoming adversity, right? And I would probably say having that grit, right? Just that fight, right? That fight in you.
Keep going.
Yeah, just keep going, right? And it's easy for me to say I'm pretty young, you know, so I haven't really even lived life yet. But I think that gave me a good start to my life, right? Was definitely that. But I think college in itself teaches a lot of young individuals how to live, you know, and how to be better. But yeah.
No, I agree, because just the whole independence thing was big. You know, like cooking and doing everything and making sure that you actually start picking up food, right? Like making sure like you have something.
Yeah.
And it taught me to be super resourceful, because when I was in Oahu, I only had $20 or $25 a week for food. So I remember buying like 7 cans of tuna for 7 days. 7, I mean, not the best thing, top ramen or Maruchan ramen.
Yeah.
And then I'd buy like a little, and then I'd buy like one of those like batches of spinach for like $8.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. And maybe like if I had some spare dollars, I'd buy some Vienna sausage.
Something nice, yeah.
It was really like a humbling experience too. And like sports in college and stuff, it's really the dedication and the self-discipline to show up, to be punctual, right? Like 100%. you gotta be on time, you gotta be early. The preparation for your eating, all of your training leading up to it. And then what's great about sports is that you'll know the outcome based on the process we put in. Yeah. Right? So like if we trained really hard, we did everything right, usually our outcome is good. And then if we never prepare, like I did a couple competitions, tournaments where I didn't prepare so good.
And it showed.
It showed right there.
For sure.
And I was like, oh, reality.
Yeah.
Right? And then that was like a good experience of like 19, 20. I was like, oh my God, like this is why.
The grind, right? You can't cheat it. You
cannot cheat it, and you cannot blame anybody. Yeah. You know, it's like, oh man, normally I've been working out 5-6 days a week. I only worked out 3 days a week.
Right. And you know it. Nobody else knows it, but you know it in yourself, right? And it shows in the end. It's crazy you say that, man. It's crazy because that is something that is absolutely true in baseball. And our coach used to tell us that all the time, right? And in high school, I was a little bit better at Maui, but, everywhere else I wasn't by any means the best. I was an average guy, right? Very average, if not below average, right? And so he would always tell us in high school, you can't cheat it. You can't cheat it. I'm over there. I'm fine. I'm still gonna show up on the weekends and ball out. Do good. But when I got to the upper level, it showed. It definitely showed. Everybody was bigger, stronger, faster, and I'm like, what am I doing that they're not? I'm sitting there wondering why I'm not getting playtime. In the moment that I really started taking care of myself, my body, my mind, and everything else, that's when I think that was the moment that I really was able to see my work ethic show, right? And when I started coming here, I mean, that was just unreal. I told you this multiple times already, man.
The first time? Was that you or Chad?
That was me, dude.
I remember coming in, I was like, oh, shit. Like,
yeah, that was me.
Track,
after the sledge.
Tire pools.
Bro, I caught the prowler fluke.
Wait, so for people listening, like, what is that?
Okay,
like,
so
what's going on?
Yeah, okay. So the first time I came to train with Justin, right? I hit you up through I think it was Instagram, and I was like, yo, I'm trying to train, what's up? And you're like, yeah, come through. What was it, like 2:30? And at the time I was in school, I was on break, so I was like, I can come in at any time. Perfect. 2:30. Show up, right? And you're like, okay, I just kind of want to put you through a couple workouts. Boom, we did like some compound lifts, right? Deadlifts, I think. And you're like, oh, very good. Okay, let's go into our our conditioning portion and our agility portion. And I was like, oh, damn, okay. And at the time I was probably 210, probably 25% body fat, maybe a little less, out of shape, terrible diet. And so you had me doing the ladders and the ball slams, and at this point I'm pretty toasted. At this point I was dust, man. I was dust. And then you're like, okay, last thing, let's do some tire sled pulls. And I'm like, okay. And in my head I'm not dumb, right? I'm like, okay, this is gonna benefit me, but he's also trying to see what I'm made of. At least that's how I took it. I don't know if that's what you meant to do.
That was
that's kind of what I seen it as, and I was like, I'm not gonna back down, let's do it. And so I decided to do it hard all the way down. Yeah. But I didn't realize that I still had to make it back. Right? And so I come back, I finally make it back, right? Slowed down towards the end, but I made it back with some pace, with some authority, but after that, I remember taking the straps off, and you were just like, "Hey, good job, man. Come back." What was it? Tuesday, Thursdays,
like
I think, or like
2
Monday,
days.
Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, come back on Friday or whatever. And we'll do it again. And I was like, okay, sounds good. And you're like, I gotta go run an errand, so just chill here. Chad's here, And I remember dropping to the ground, and I was like, my world was spinning. I was like, I'm gonna puke right here. I had to like take off my shirt. I remember like taking off my shirt, catching the cold sweats, and I was like, and come to find out, it's called the prowler flu.
Flu.
So like you pull a sled, you get sick. Anyway, that's besides the point. But I remember that day, and it's funny, as I was driving here to do this today, I just thought of that. All the nostalgia hit me, right? And I'm like, oh my God.
And that's a testament to you, man, because I remember, because I would train a lot of high school athletes because of coming to middle school, and a lot of them would come down, and not naming names, they just like a lot of tough guys, and it's always a quiet, humble guys. I mean, you're very like, I love your jokes and everything, but you're a humble guy, and some of these guys were all crazy. Oh yeah, look at me, man, I'm the running back, or all these stuff. I'm like,
for sure.
Let's run through the circuit and nothing crazy. No crazy, just the usual either cleans or deadlifts. And,
average day here at Yanagida
ladders
Fitness,
and stuff
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
And then the sled, right? And sometimes they're like, coach, I can't do it. I'm like, just go slow. Just go slow. There's no pressure. There's no time. It's your first day.
Right.
No, I just can't. I'm like, all right, man. And that's why it's good, man. Like, I love I knew from that day. I was like, Chaz is legit. And then because Chad was here too.
I came
back and I was like, oh, Chaz, bro, you good, man?
I was like, I'm fine.
I'm
trying
good,
to act
good.
all hard. Like, no, I'm good. In my head, I'm like, I just sat in the bathroom for 20 minutes contemplating life. Like, am I gonna make it out of here? Like, can I drive home?
Drive home.
Like, I thought of everything. I was like, should I call my dad to pick me up? Bring my mom so that she can take my car? I'm like, no way, I'm doing that. No way, not on the first day. And I didn't even know you. We didn't even know each other.
No, we just met.
So I was
like 20 minutes,
right,
like 1 hour,
an hour. So I'm like, I am not gonna make a fool out of myself today for my pride, for my ego. There's no way.
On day one.
Yeah. So, but you know what? What's crazy is that I just kept showing up.
You did, man.
You kept training me how you did, and it was. And I don't want to say it was immediate results, but it was results that I could see and I could feel on the field. And even my coaches, when I came back after that break, they were like, "Dude, like." It's completely different. It's a completely different Chaz. I mean, your game has just elevated, So I ended up starting that year, right? Playing
your senior year,
solid baseball, right? And I didn't start for a very long time. I had a short leash, and I barely got my playing time. When I did, it was. I mean, if I didn't produce on that very instant, it was like, okay, you're done, So it kind of saved me, right? My baseball career, even though it was for a lot of people short, for a lot of people a little longer, but it definitely made my career what it is, what it was, right? So that was something that I'm always thankful for. You know what I mean? That first day, I'm glad that I kept coming back. I mean, it was good, it was solid, and your workouts have progressed since. It was already crazy, man. It was already unbelievable, but now, I mean, I see the workouts and I'm like, damn, I don't know if I could do that now. You know what I mean?
That's why it's great, man. Like, shout out to Navai, because man, she stuck along. She never missed a day. I was just talking to her and Micah about it. I said she never missed a workout that was scheduled. Since end of August.
But you know what though? So that's the difference between where she's at and a lot of younger ladies that want to be where she's at but fall short, right? Is the ability to do it day in and day out, right? The consistency, right? And it's not just her workouts, right? What she eats, how she trains on the field, how
broccoli,
she carries her.
She tagged me in the broccoli.
See, you know what I mean? Right, I see that, right? I follow her too. It's like,
no,
dude, it's like, I mean, that's the difference, right? And even on the field, you watch her play on TV, right? She went to UW, she goes to UH now, right? Playing softball. You just know it's those players that can bring it day in and day out, man. That's the difference between good players and great players, right? So, she's.
Oh.
But,
so.
Yeah, no, so that's kind of just a testament to her work, right? But, how did you end up opening this gym and everything in the first place? Because without it, I wouldn't be where I was in college, right? So, how did it come about?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Just how we started, and right before we go into like how we started the gym, like the one last thing I want to just mention about Navai that I don't think enough people know about her is her humility. Is she's always helping us clean and sweeping the floors, mopping the floors, and helping us disinfect stuff, and she just does it. And I can tell she's a leader because she'll do it, and then some of the other guys will jump in and be like, oh, bro, like, I kind of just let her, like, let me jump, hey, you need help, bro, you need help, and they all jump in. So that's a leader, and so that's the other quality why. And what makes her so great is her the humility to just kind of do whatever. So going into that question, how did the gym start? Wait, what was it? How did it?
Yeah, how did you even start this? Because
this is a good question. So we started this whole process 8 years ago now.
Okay.
Going to be 8 years ago, with no money, with $59, and we literally had only $59. And I remember just thinking, like, man, what am I going to do? I have a lot of passion, but I don't know anything about how to get people in the door.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to train people.
Right.
And besides, like, training at War Memorial, at the stadium, at the grass parks, and, all these different places, I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
I know that the education that we got from Professor Williams in Orlando, Florida, was really good. But I was just like, man, like, how do we get there? And so we started off super humbly. The first 2 years, I worked for free.
Okay.
100% free, and then maybe like tip. I had a little tip jar.
Right.
And at first, it was right out of my backyard.
Yeah.
And we had a backyard workout. First workout, we had about 6 people. Everyone's excited. And it was just free. Just work out, utilizing the neighborhood stairs, utilizing the curb, doing like little step jumps, body weight jumps. And then with that $59, I initially bought speed ladders. And from Sports Authority, when it was here, I bought one kettlebell. Okay. It's still here. It's the weird odd colored one.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I know what you're
you remember.
About. Yeah.
And so that's how we started. And then I was broke. And I was like, oh, man, okay. So what do we do? We just kept repeating that process. And just like an athlete, that persistence of, man, nothing's happening. And then from that 6 people went down to 1 person, to 0 people, to 1 person, to 0 people showing up, 1 person, 0 people showing up. And I remember thinking to myself, almost quitting. And I remember this one specific day. I was sitting on the steps, and I just looked down. And I was so excited for some reason because it was a New Year's workout, 2014 or 15.
Okay.
And I just looked down at my feet, looked down at my hands. Nobody showed up. And I was telling my girlfriend at the time that, today's going to be a great day. It's New Year's. New Year's just finished. We're going to have a lot of people. 0 people showed up. And then the week after that, 0 people showed up. And I remember just thinking to myself, man, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong for 0 people to want to work out for free?
For free, yeah.
For free.
Exactly, yeah.
No charge, nothing. And it was a breaking moment where if something didn't change, I don't know how much longer. It was already 2 years for free.
Yeah.
And especially everybody in your circle say, hey, man, get a real job, do something, whatever.
100%.
Yeah. Like, dude, what the hell are you doing, Josh? You're just wasting your time. And to really like block them out, ignore them. And then my other half, Jody, she found an opportunity at Kamehameha School, at a local private school, for those listening. And it was like qualifications that I didn't have. I don't have a bachelor degree. I don't have the certification that they wanted. And so when I saw that, I'm thinking, man, I don't qualify. And she was just like, no, just
Just
apply.
yeah.
Put yourself out there
Uh-huh.
because, who knows? And then my boss, who eventually became my boss, his name is Blaine Geisen. He was a former NFL player. He played for the Atlanta Falcons. And we did a podcast. I forget what podcast episode it was, but we did an episode. And I would ask him, what made you hire me over two other super experienced veterans? And the whole moral of the story was with that one, just like what you're saying, work ethic and humility is, I would train with the guys.
Oh,
Like, not the whole thing,
yeah,
because I got a coach, but
Right.
I would do some of the stuff. I would sprint the hills with them. I would do some of the push-ups with them. I would hold the line on the sit-ups. And certain things, and I think that got his attention, like, oh, he's not just yelling at them.
Yeah.
He's not just saying, hurry up, the usual.
Yeah.
And so I got the job at Kamehameha School while I was also doing personal training. And then at this time, I was driving to people's houses. And so I was freelancing, charging about $30 to $40 per workout.
Okay. I think
And then from here, I had about 3 clients. So I was making about $600 a month, and I was stoked. I was like, man, this is freaking awesome. But then after paying for gas and all this stuff, it just
right.
And so I did that, Kamehameha School, and this is 2015 now. I do that until 2016 of spring, and then right after that, parents started asking. Actually, throughout the whole process, parents would ask me, what should I have my son eat? What should I have my daughter eat? What should we make as a family? How can we encourage our son to eat healthy? And all this stuff. And then I said, well, you guys are the leaders of the house. Maybe if you guys ate good and only ate good, then they're gonna follow.
Oh yeah.
And so they're like, oh, so us? Yeah, mom and dad. I think you guys. Oh. Some took it great.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know what? That sounds good. Lead by example. We're gonna do that. Some parents got offended. Oh, so what are you calling us? I was like, no, sir. Like, I love you and I love your family. It's just if you guys lead by example, it's much better than say one thing and then do the other thing.
100%.
And with that though, we had enough parents who were like, let's do something. And so there was an opportunity that came to open up this location. Scared to death.
Oh yeah.
And
Can imagine.
I don't even know how my landlord gave us the shot, because I had no credit. I probably had negative credit with debt and everything. And landlord was just like, hey man, you got one shot. Make sure you pay the bills on time and we'll be fine.
Right.
So I said, okay. And then that was February 2016, almost 5 years.
Okay.
And so we opened up just the half side.
That side. That's when. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so when people ask me a lot of times, where did you get the funds from? The funds, so during this whole process, I was a strength and conditioning coach, I was a personal trainer, I was a group instructor, I worked at a PacSun, I worked at as a truck driver. Like, I did like literally a lot of different things. And all I did was I would just save my money, and I might have had at this time maybe like 10 grand.
Okay.
And then I literally dumped all of that from these little jobs here and there into, I guess, the rent, the security deposit, and then whatever super basic equipment I had. It was maybe, I think, 1 barbell, 200-300 pounds of weights, very minimal.
I've seen the pictures for sure.
Yeah, super bare bones, and we painted everything. We did literally everything ourselves, and that's initially how we started. And then we would just keep treating people with respect while pushing them, but balancing it with caring for them.
Yeah.
And it grew from 1 person, and then we got into about 5 people for a while, and then people were just like, hey, you gotta come check it out. And it became 10, then 20, and so on.
And now it's where it's at, dude. Because when I first started coming, it was right in that middle set, right? 2017.
Yeah.
Right. So it was right in that middle amount of people, not very little, but there was, when I first started coming, there was Chattel. Was Jordan Hadley even here yet?
I think he might have just started or was thinking about coming.
Yeah, it was just
for those listening, we were coaching at Kamehameha School
together, right? Yeah.
He was a football guy. I was the conditioning guy.
But that's unreal, man. That just goes to show, you know, the work ethic you have, the belief, and all of that. Because I was just I was driving the other day, and I was thinking to myself, you know, I'm definitely more, I guess, supported than a lot of other individuals, you know. Like my parents, I still live with my parents, right? They're super supportive, you know, and they have paid for so much stuff, you know. My mom made it so that I don't have to pay any student loans, right? She paid it all off for me as my gift and stuff like that. So, you know, I know a lot of individuals don't have that, right? Including yourself growing up, right? And now, you know, you're doing your thing, man. It's crazy. It's crazy to see that.
And it's crazy because it's that whole quote about our greatest strengths can be our greatest weakness, but then our greatest weakness can also be our greatest strength. Because I couldn't speak English properly, and I was scared to death just to even like talk like this, let alone like this doing the podcast. I used to be so insecure, and even just talking any language really, Japanese or English, but thinking about the process, like what you're saying, right? How much, like, I wish people would see the behind the scenes. I wish I recorded all the behind the scenes, like the times there, like I wish it was a secret CC hidden camera or something like that. That was like, you know, when I was crying and 8 years ago and 7 years ago and no one showed up, how heartbroken I was, and how my other half was just. So shout out to really my other half, because if it wasn't for her, I would have quit probably way sooner. Right. And she just kept seeing it, like, you just gut it out, and you can do this. And
just the belief she had in you, huh?
Yeah, you're gonna figure this out somehow, and I'm just so thankful for that. So it's really a team effort thing, whether it was just with me and her at first, and then it became like our official coaches and all that, but it's always a team effort, right? And that's what I always tell people. It's never a self thing, it's always a team thing. Like a sport, it's always a team effort. And so just kind of keeping that to heart, that it's not about me, it's about everybody else, and how we can help them and help them get better and all these things. So yeah, it's just a blessing. Yeah. I mean,
and that just goes to show that you're a great person, right? I was just telling my students today, I don't care who you think you are, you can't do this life by yourself. 100% by yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's no way. Nobody. Especially here, you got to know somebody. Yeah. Or you got to have some connections, right? And is because I was telling them that you need to be a relatable person, you know, somebody who, you don't always have to be liked, but, you know, there's going to be times where you're going to need somebody else. You can't do everything by yourself in this world, in this life. Not in this lifetime. Yeah. No, that's agree. That's my opinion. Yeah. You know?
No, I agree.
But so that's amazing, man. That's awesome. Yeah. This place is thriving now, man. And like I said, I was here when it was just that half, right?
Yeah, one half.
With 15 guys squeezed into that side, man, sweating all over each other. I remember. But that was the grind, you know? I loved it.
Even now, it's still like that.
Yeah,
Staying to the roots, right?
Yeah. Well, with social distance now in 2020, you know?
We're not literally sweating at each other.
Yeah. But, I mean, that was crazy, dude. We were packed in that section, just working our butts off, trying to be somebody, man, trying to be something. You know? So it's crazy, man. Yeah. It's crazy. That's good stuff, one. Though.
So yeah, let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
That's a good one. Asia.
Okay, so this is I remember this question. This was from one of my brother's friends. And his older brother is my age. We used to hang out together. This is from Akela Aloy. So if you're listening, Akela, this one's for you, man. What are the effects of creatine for teenagers, short term and long term? Does it work? And he has another question after this. Every I guess I do a lot of research through YouTube, right? So it's like bro science, you know. But everybody that I asked or that I watch online says that creatine is effective. Now, what age should you start taking it? I don't know. You probably know more of that than me, you know. So that's a question for you. But to answer the question, I think creatine works. In fact, I just ordered on Amazon today. While I was working out today, I just ordered on Amazon some creatine because I'm running out. But what do you think? What age? Because he's 14, 15, my
14,
brother's age.
15. Yeah, I mean, creatine is the most popular researched supplement in the world.
Because it's old too, right?
In the world. Creatine, the specific one is a creatine monohydrate.
Monohydrate, yeah.
Is researched tons of times in the world. Every major country has probably done a research paper on it. And the reason being, what creatine is basically the adenosine triphosphate system, which is basically the ATP. So anytime you do any high burst activities, anywhere from 7 to 15 seconds, that's all your ATP creatine system.
Yeah.
So doing a bench press of 8 reps or a 3 rep max, or going for maybe, I don't know, 10 seconds of full speed sprints. So what is that, like a 50 meter or 100 meter?
Yeah, something like that.
You can see incremental gains about like 5. I mean, there's different research, 5 to 10%.
100%, yeah.
And then I would say, like, at that age, though, I'd be more focused on good eating, proper hydration, because the supplementation is going to be that little icing on the top.
Yeah.
And so food is going to be a big pyramid on the bottom. All the vegetables, the water, electrolytes. And the next after that is getting enough sleep.
Yeah, 100%.
Not getting actual quality sleep. So not scrolling on Instagram or TikTok.
It's all blue light. Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, you know.
Blue light.
At 11 p.m. and only sleeping 6 hours. So that's another big one.
Yeah.
And then actually training correctly.
Yeah.
So I'll do those 3 things first and probably talk to a coach or somebody who you trust. And then if they're saying, like, you know, you got all your X's and O's, like you're dotted, you're good to go, then maybe I would say like 17 or so. But for another like a few years, I would just say keep training hard.
Yeah.
Because that little bit of creatine, it's not going to be a major game changer as much as like if you're skipping a meal.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, if you skip a meal, you're only eating like 2 meals a day and you're sleeping 6 hours a day, 5 hours a day. And working out, and you're skipping workouts, then that little boost in creatine won't notice that much.
Yeah.
And you can get creatine naturally. Just eat some steak.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, and I wish I knew that stuff when I was growing up, because from my freshman year too, for Akela and a lot of you younger individuals listening, right, who are looking to reach your fitness goals, I wish I knew that from an earlier age, because even now, like, I would say only a few years back I started sleeping the right way. I started getting enough sleep, eating a little better, and then, you know, increasing water, and then taking my supplements as a top, right? Because in high school, from a young age, I thought, okay, this is gonna be magical. I'll just take this, work out here and there, and I'll be jacked. You know, I see all the seniors, right? I'm a freshman, right? I see all these seniors. I'm like, I'll be jacked, you know? These guys are taking all this muscle milk. Muscle milk was big at the time. Gaspari Nutrition was just getting big at the time. And I see all of that, and I'm like, oh, I got to go to GNC, buy all this stuff, right? But that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
Now that I am training consistently, obviously, but sleeping consistently. I mean, I go to bed at like 10. I wake up at like 5:30ish. But, you know, even that, I could sleep more, right? Sleeping right, eating the right foods, the right nutrients, and a good amount of protein. Right? Dropping the fats and increase the proteins. I wish I knew all of that stuff.
Oh man, me too.
You know, because on the weekends sometimes, I'll go out, I'll have fun. Well, not really because COVID now, but you know, I notice when I don't sleep and when I don't eat enough or don't eat the right things, right? And I don't intake enough water, my body shows, and so does my overall feeling, right? You can just tell. So yeah, that's said perfectly, Justin. I would 100% agree with that.
So someone like yourself is like a perfect person for any creatine or any supplementation, because you're already at that level of, like, you know, you're dialing in everything else. And so I would say maybe wait a couple, maybe like a year or two, at least a few years, and What's his name again?
Akela.
Akela.
Yeah.
My man. Yeah, man. I would just say, just keep on grinding. You know, work out, keep going consistent. Sounds like if you know Chaz, then you're gonna be good.
Yeah, and they have good genetics too. His brother's my age. He was jacked all throughout high school.
All jacked.
Yeah.
There
His
you go,
dad
man.
was, beast in his day.
Dang.
But no, he's strong too, from what I
Perfect.
hear. So
Yeah.
just put your stuff together, and that goes for a lot of the younger generations coming up, caring about their fitness, caring about their strength. Put all those together, and you'll be good. And then his other question was,
Next question.
what supplements are good for teenagers to take?
Oh, supplements for teenagers. I would say, I mean, most supplements are made for 18 plus. The only ones I can really think of, if you don't get it in your food, but even then, I would suggest just eating like fish 2-3 times a week.
Okay.
Then you don't need a omega-3 fish oil.
Oh, yeah.
And then the only other one at like teenagers I recommend is like a multivitamin, because anybody can benefit from that, right? So multivitamin, fish oil if you don't eat fish.
Yeah.
But if you eat fish 2-3 times a week, you're
good.
pretty good.
You're good, yeah.
Other than that, I mean, that's probably it.
Yeah,
I
even
mean,
the protein. I mean, yeah, you could take it, but if you're getting enough in your diet as a teenager, whatever body weight you're at, I think you'll be fine. With just the food. Now, if your parents are cooking up stuff that lack protein a lot, then maybe protein. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think about
that?
Yeah,
you could do that, because I see protein more as a food, more as like powdered food.
Yeah.
So I mean, powdered food, to me is like good to go if it fits your needs. Just be careful on the ingredients and stuff.
100%.
Look for minimal ingredient list, and whey protein. I actually really any protein that fits your body type.
Yeah, for sure. So brother Corey Gooch.
Corey Gushikuma.
Yeah, I call him Corey Gooch. That's my good friend from Summer Pal days. But he messaged me Family Impact. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Just give me a call, man. Just give me a call or talk to Justin.
Does it just say Family Impact?
Yeah, that's just says
There's
family.
nothing else. No question
just
mark.
Family Impact.
Just Family Impact. Corey Gushikuma. Well, I wish I knew what the question was, man. But hey, hope to see you soon, Corey, if you're listening to this.
Guaranteed.
Next one.
The next question is, how does nutrition play a part in fitness? And I think this one goes a lot with, what you were saying to Akela. I think that just nutrition is 80% of it. You can train as hard as you want, but if you're not eating the right things, enough nutrients and the right amount of stuff and proteins and getting all your macros in, I mean, I think that your body's gonna suffer. I mean,
agreed. Because it makes sense, because like exactly what you're saying is, the training's important, but if you're only training and you're breaking down your muscle fibers, but then there's like what you're saying, there's not enough proteins or not enough micronutrients and vegetables and electrolytes and water, the body is just gonna be in a state of pain.
Hurt.
They're never gonna
joints, muscles,
grow.
Everything. Yeah,
Joints,
exactly.
muscles, nothing's gonna get better, nothing's gonna get stronger, because there's no material to build on top of those micro tears.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. Nutrition is huge.
Yeah,
Nutrition's
and I
huge.
think this question is from Ashley Souza, one of my friends from Young Kid Time.
Ashley.
Yeah, not too sure if you know her, but so I think, and her boyfriend is stacked too. Her boyfriend
Stacked and jacked.
He's jacked, man. He's shredded.
Like
I know him too, brother Jaren. But I think that you just need to tell Jaren cook you up some chicken or something.
Some
man.
chicken and broccoli.
Yeah,
Dude, I was just talking about this earlier about meal prepping and how my meal prep is consistent but boring. So it's always the same. It's either 3 pounds of chicken for the week, or fish, or something, some sort of protein, some sort of vegetable, broccoli, asparagus, spinach, kale, and then brown rice. Super, because I used to play with different things with sweet potatoes, and I recommend that.
100%.
Like I don't expect anyone to just
be
just
a set.
eat,
Yeah, nobody's a robot, right?
But I like to have fun with my hot sauces,
Yeah.
Frank's Red Hot Sauce, and like different seasonings. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Just
And
cook some good stuff.
like for her, right? She's a nurse.
Oh, okay.
So
Respect.
you're gonna have to, 100%. You're gonna have to, I think, meal prep, you know. But the thing is, like for me, right? I do eat chicken and broccoli and stuff, but I don't meal prep it, right? In the mornings, I wake up a little earlier. My breakfast is, I follow this anabolic
Okay.
diet, right,
Got it.
on YouTube. I just wanted to try it out,
Yeah.
just test it out,
Yeah.
you know.
So what is
because
that?
It's so, couple guys do it.
Mhm.
This guy Remington James, this guy Greg Doucette on YouTube, right? And I just came across it just looking on YouTube. I watched a bunch of people, Jesse James West, Sush, you know,
Yeah.
all those kinds of guys who are just crazy bros that just work out and help you out, right? And so I started this diet, right? And it's basically eating foods that you like, just modified, right? So you're cooking foods that you enjoy, like pizza, French toast, you know, all this kinds of stuff, but with a little less lower calorie ingredients, sugar substitutes, veggies instead of different stuff. So like in the mornings, every morning, because every morning I used to eat a bowl of oatmeal and 3 eggs.
Dude, that's exactly what I eat.
Right, okay.
3 eggs and oatmeal, or
Yeah.
3 eggs and 2 slices of toast.
And that was every day for me. Every day, right?
I'm still that way.
Dude, yeah.
From, almost 10 years now.
But it's good, right? You can do it every day.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
not that I was tired of it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just seen this on YouTube and
Yeah.
my eyes lit up. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let me just give it a shot. I'll give it a
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
So I eat this French toasting every day. I
Dude,
mix.
you gotta hook me up with the recipe. Bro.
I'll hit you
Dude,
up. I'll hit you up.
I
man.
need some of this. I need
Yeah.
some spice in my life.
Right,
man.
and it's
Yeah.
helped me a lot, man, because I can stay under my calories, right?
Yeah.
It's 4 slices of white bread, just white bread,
Dang.
but I get the lowest calorie white
Yeah.
bread. I mix 2 eggs, 2 whole eggs, and 1 egg white, right?
Dang.
Scoop of protein,
Look at
mix it
this.
up, I whisk it, and I dip the bread in there, and I
Aw.
just put it on the pan. 4
And you got
slices.
legit protein, got a good amount of
Legit
protein,
yeah.
good amount of carbs.
Yeah, and so it keeps me full till like 11ish, sometimes even 12. I even forget to eat lunch.
Yeah.
And so I'll work out. I have like a granola bar in between, maybe
Yeah.
about 9 o'clock ish. And if I'm really feeling splurgy, I'll have like I don't know, something sweet, right?
Yeah.
Something small, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
nothing crazy.
Nothing
I won't go
crazy. I like that. Nothing crazy.
And then for lunch, I'll have like my chicken or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes even just leftovers if
Yeah.
I'm lazy, right?
Mhm.
And dinner, I'll have like, I don't know, whatever is cooked. If I don't like what my parents cook, I'll just quickly defrost up chicken,
Yeah.
throw it on the stove, and
Yeah.
you know, and we're good to go. So
Yeah,
I
sounds
think,
good.
yeah, I think what she means is, if she is trying to main gain, they call it, right?
Oh, it's
Main
like that.
gain, like where she's
Eating at
working out.
maintenance?
Yes, but she's like working
Oh.
out, right? And she wants to like kind of lose the fat but gain a little bit of muscle, you know, tone up a little bit. I think it's
Like
just
recomposition.
yeah, it's like kind of just what you're eating, amount of calories and stuff, and
Yeah.
finding the amount that works for you. I think you need to find what works for you on that. And I'm not fully there yet. Don't even get me wrong. I just got a food scale. In
Mhm.
fact, my mom got it for me for Christmas. So
Nice.
shout out moms.
Mom.
You know, shout
Yeah,
out
man.
moms, man. She
Good.
just got it to me for Christmas. She listened to me. I've been telling her like, oh, you know, maybe I need a food scale,
Food
you
scale.
know, which I didn't.
That's
really
such a bro
need.
thing, bro.
Yeah,
I
which-
remember for like tournaments, whatever, like food scale at the restaurants.
Yeah.
So this burger isn't actually, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna trim off some of the bread. I was
Yeah.
like, people are like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm like,
You gotta do
dedication.
it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't do that anymore, but
Yeah. So
yeah.
no, I mean, yeah. To answer the question, eating the right amount of nutrients,
Yeah.
protein, and macronutrients, and you should be good.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. But yeah.
Ashley, good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you know now that you wish your younger self knew? What do I know now that I wish my younger self knew?
Yeah.
A lot. A lot. For one, there's no magic pill.
Yeah.
For two, there's no shortcut, you
Mhm.
know, and I think that came with who I trained with, when I trained with, you know.
Yeah.
Because like I told you when I was training here with you,
Mhm.
Would I have pushed myself to do cardio and abs? No way. No way. You know, I'm going into the gym. At the time, it was... You used to work out there, Fitness 808?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that place was legendary. But anyway.
Yeah, powerlifting days.
Yeah,
man.
so I would just do my compound lifts, right? And not, mind you, I'm playing baseball, right? I would just do my compound lifts, do some accessory work, and I'm out of there, right?
That's right.
And so, did I ever do abs? No. Did I ever do my small muscles, my forearms, my rear delts?
Yeah, rear delts. That was a big one.
Huge for baseball.
Yeah,
probably one of the biggest one.
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest muscles you could use when it comes to throwing, right? Along with your decelerate, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But
that's right.
I think what you taught me for sure, along with some other people along the way, was there's no shortcut to this. There's in anything really.
No, yeah.
You know, work harder, not smart, or work smarter, not harder. But that doesn't really apply. You know, there's no shortcut.
And the people that win are the people that work smart and work hard.
Exactly.
Those are the guys. So it's like the guy who eats good. Who's smart about his supplementation, smart about his training, smart about bringing people that are knowledgeable around them.
Yeah.
Very smart. And then that guy works like crazy guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy who ever wins in sports, wins in work, gets the promotion, whatever. And you're so right, bro.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so it's like, I wish I knew that, but aside from the real life things, right? Mindset wise, I wish I knew to surround myself with more like-minded people, for one. And for two was to not let everything get to me, right? Mentally, right? Because you hear about so much mental health issues nowadays, right? Which stem from physicality.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some things that you couldn't prevent. Maybe there's some things that you couldn't control, right? That affected you mentally. And I'm glad I don't have any mental health issues right now, right? Maybe I do, I just don't know it. But no, but it's like, I'm glad I don't, because it's a real life thing. Yeah. Now, how do I make sure I don't have that? I guess, like I said, I surround myself with like-minded people, good people, people who are going to bring me up, but let me know when I need to be checked, right? But it's kind of just, I mean, I wish I had a stronger mind from high school, right? And that came with a lot of stuff. I mean, college, we had our mental toughness days, which sucked, you know? But I think just opening my mind more, not being afraid to watch different videos out of my comfort zone, not being afraid to read a couple books, you know? I mean, I don't read the whole book. If I'm being straight up, I'm being honest. I don't read too much. I don't know if I have ADD, ADHD or what, but I can't get myself to read a full book, right? But bits and parts I'll read, and I'm like, damn, I can take this, or I can leave that, right? And I think being a sponge in life and soaking what you want to and letting go what you want to, right? And not being so one-track minded. I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that for sure.
Chaz, that's exactly, bro, what you just said, the open-mindedness. I want to say something similar, too. What you just said, open-mindedness to let go, pull in. The humility to admit if something's wrong and be okay if someone says, Justin, that doesn't look too good, bro. You're kind of going out of line. You're kind of going too crazy. Oh, okay, got it. Boom. Humility. And then what you're saying is like commitment, right? Just to keep going. And then that tenacity of mindset. Like I wish I had that too, because back then it was just, I know people find it hard to believe I talk about this all the time, but I was that guy that would hide in the bathroom because I'd get picked on. So I would just close the bathroom door and I would actually sit on the what do you call that? The bathroom. The actual, and I'll put my feet on the seat so people can't see that there's feet underneath. Right. And I would do those things and, you know, and not say anything about what would happen or not speak my mind. And with the other one you were mentioning, the surrounding yourself, right? I would surround myself with the extreme opposites because I thought it'd make me a tough guy, right?
Tough guy, cool guy.
Yeah, like tougher, cool guy. And what it was just actually farther away from who I was, right? Doing things I don't want to do, things that don't make me happy or whatever it was. But yeah, I would say, what was the question again? What
do you wish you knew?
Gosh,
what do you know now that you wish your younger self knew?
Back then, I wish I knew more about, I guess, life stuff, taxes, balancing a checkbook, like all of these things I didn't know, and until really just a few years ago, I was just like, oh my goodness, like what? But like what you're saying, as long as you have that mindset of being humble and willing to attract people, because the people around me are smarter than me. You know, they're smarter than me in different areas, and they'll tell me, like my CPA, she'll be like, Justin, you gotta fix this right now. I don't know how you, and then if I got offended by that, I'd be like, no, you know.
Right.
But it's just like, oh dang, you know what? Hey, Jennifer, appreciate it. Right. Hey, let me get on it right now.
Yeah, she obviously sees something wrong. Right?
Yeah, and then somebody else might say the same thing, and then somebody else. But it's that building relationships with people. I never knew how valuable that would be, and just really being kind to everybody.
Yes.
You know, because when I was in pain, I would do painful things to people. Right? When I was angry inside, I would express anger outside. And I regret some of the things that I might have said or did in college or maybe even high school. And I just try to remember that life is long. It's just remember, because all the people that I've just talked to that passed away this last year, when I talk to them either in your deathbed or over the phone or in person, whatever it was, they would all mention live without regret in some way, shape, or form. In Japanese, they would say that. In here, they would say that. A form of just live your life.
Right.
And it wasn't until a second person told me this in Japan. We're at my mom's childhood friend. I guess kind of like an auntie to her. Okay. And she had terminal cancer, and she was going to go anytime. Right. And she really wanted to see me because I hadn't seen her in a few years. And I came over to her house. And even her sons wouldn't come visit her because they're just so busy. Right. I was like, what? Your mom is dying, and your sons are too busy for your mom in her last couple of days. Crazy. And so when I got there with my mom, man, we just started crying and had a heartfelt moment. And she told me that, and she's rich too, and a nice house. I mean, security gate in the front, like a Korean drama house, kind of like ridiculous.
Yeah, I see.
You can see the sun in the middle of the house, the plants. I'm like, what? Three stories.
Oh no!
I'm like, damn, man, this is a mansion. Like, what the?
Movie kind.
Yeah, multi-million. And so I was like, Mom, how do you even? Anyway, long story short, she worked like heck, but she regrets not doing her things that she wanted to do. Like, she wanted to do more dancing stuff. She wanted to do more arts and crafts. But because of her job, she didn't choose to do that. Right. Or any of them. Right. And the way she spoke to me and my mom about what she regrets, and I'm really glad because my mom didn't dance as well. Yeah. But she started Hawaiian dance maybe like 3 months after she passed away. As she was nearing 60. But long story short, it's that whole regret thing. Yeah. And I didn't want to regret anything, so it's kind of crazy. But like, I got back into doing martial arts and jiu-jitsu and a little bit of striking here and there, and it's just so fun on top of everything, right? I can always balance. I can always wake up earlier. Yeah, 100%. I can always stay up later. But it's just that whole
doing what you want to do, right? Yeah. And I was just, it's funny that you mentioned that. It's crazy that you mentioned that because I was just with the owner of this company, Aclive brand, right, which I've been rocking a lot. It's been
tell us about that.
Okay,
it
so
caught my attention. I was like, what is that sign? What does that mean?
It's kind of like a heartbeat.
It's a heartbeat.
Heartbeat, but like, and then the Aclive on the top, right? So, but I was just with him yesterday, right? We were golfing.
What's his name?
Daniel Beretta.
Daniel.
Shout out Daniel. Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah. What's he like?
Active Daniel. He is.
What's this guy like?
He's a great guy.
He's
a like-minded person, man.
Dang.
I'll tell you that right now. And that is why, we went to the same high school together. He's around my age, but we never really talked, And when I met this man, I didn't know what to expect, right? First impression was, okay, this guy's pretty chill, laid back, right? But as I talked to him more, right, because he hit me up, or he knew my girlfriend. He knew my girlfriend in the past, but then he hit me up recently to, wear his clothing and take some pictures for his site, for his new drop that he did, right? So he hooked me up with some merch, and I was like, dude, this guy is cool, right? But we started talking, and he is just like us, a like-minded person, believes in the whole resilience act. That was his last drop, resilience, overcoming obstacles, because 2020 has been crazy, right? But he was just telling me yesterday, that he sat back and realized that he can't just work, because this guy works hard. It's his own business, and he's trying to do everything for it: shoot, edit, order everything, get everything out, right? And he has a really small team. It's just like a couple of his sisters, like, doing some small things. They're awesome too. But he was just telling me yesterday that I really sat back and I was like, you know what? I gotta get away from work, and I gotta do the things that I love, because this life is too short. And I really thought about it after I left the golf course. I was like, that is 100% true, because I get so caught up in waking up in the morning, making breakfast, going to work, coming home, right? Doing what I was doing, coaching, right? I was coaching 14 through 16-year-old kids for the last 3 or 4 months, maybe even longer, 6 months. In fact, it's been that long. But he was like, I just realized I need to do more things that I enjoy, things that I love to do, because I always have time to do it, but I won't have time when I'm 90 years old or 80 years old, with, having a hard time do things, right? Yeah. And I'm like, that is 100% true, man. And so it's funny that you mentioned that, because I just thought about it last night. Like, I'm gonna start doing more things that I love. I love to dive, right? I love to golf, right? And so I want to start doing it a lot more. But yeah, I mean, this guy, he's awesome, man. We always talk about life. We always talk about that kind of stuff, just stuff that you and I talk about all the time too. It's like, he's always...
Maybe we gotta meet him. What's his name?
Daniel Beretta.
Yeah,
you need to have this man on your show, for real, though.
Shout out, bro. Dang, man.
For real.
All right,
he's
Daniel.
A good guy.
Let's get it on, Daniel.
He's got swag merch too, man. It makes you feel really good.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah. I don't know when he's gonna drop a new drop.
That's what I realized. That's what I know. That's why I was like, what is that logo? When you walked in, right? I was like, what is that?
Yeah. That's exactly what you said. And
I
was just like, oh, Active brand. You're like,
I was like, Active.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think you thought it was Live Fit brand.
Oh yeah.
That's a mainland brand.
Got it.
I rock their stuff here and there too, but good guy. But
okay, Daniel then. No, but that's really awesome, and that just like what we're saying is like, if you're able to make your life put your life in a way where it's fun for you, where it's like, okay, Monday I'm going to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and do, I don't know, this. And then I can start my day. Or maybe on Saturday, I'm going to make sure that we literally just eat some fish, or maybe eat some steak and chill with my family. And then and like, it's so fun, because I understand that feeling of like, oh, like I might have to get away, stuff like that. Because I felt that, in the very beginning of just everyday grind. I understand that. And it's when you're able to make it fun. So we gotta talk, Daniel. We gotta talk.
Definitely.
I can. It's a step in his business journey that he's about to exceed himself. He's about to like get to that next level. It's like that muscle pain,
right?
Like you gotta lift the heavier weight. He's like, oh man, it hurts, and he's like right there, because you said it's him and a couple sisters.
Yes, and that's
right?
it.
Because it's gonna be a point where it's gonna be him and then a team of 5.
Yeah.
Him and a team of 10, and that's the growth pains that he's probably feeling. So yeah, we gotta get this guy
definitely have
on.
to talk to him.
Yeah, we gotta
definitely
talk
have to have a talk with him.
Because how long has he been doing this thing?
Maybe a couple years.
Oh,
couple years now.
perfect.
But it just started. Literally, it maybe 6 months ago started blowing up.
Huh?
Just around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I knew about it before, right?
Oh yeah.
But then he started dropping more stuff. I started seeing it more here and there, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna support this dude, right? Supported this dude, and then we did that whole thing, and we started talking story, and I was like, this dude knows what he's doing. But and he's always doing research too, right? He does his things. He joins his Zoom calls,
That's
his
awesome.
business
Sounds like a
meetings
good
and
guy.
stuff like that, right? So, and like for me, I'm a teacher, dude. I'm not a businessman by any means, right? I mean, I probably could be able to sell a couple stuff, but it's not me, right?
Yeah.
That's not me, right?
You can sell that smile though. You could be I don't know if you model but you could be a model. That smile right there, that little the smile with the brow.
It's all boss. It's braces, bro. I have braces. And I never wear my retainers long time, so a couple crooked, but no, but and I always tell him, and I always tell other people, like, by no means am I perfect, dude. I am the farthest thing from perfect, but I think what I'm trying to do is just better myself individually. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. Yeah. I'm not trying to, my competition days are over, dude. Yeah. Baseball's done. Yeah. You probably still could enter jiu-jitsu and still win it all, but my competition days are done, right? I'm not competing with anybody. I'm just trying to become a better person, right? As the cliche says, a better version of myself to live my best life, right? I love that. That's honestly what I'm trying to do. It sounds so cliche, and I hate saying it because it sounds weird, man. It doesn't flow off right out of my mouth, right? But that's just what I'm trying to do here, I'm not perfect by any means. No, that's we awesome. All got our things. We all got,
Yeah, and that's perfect because that dives into our last question. I always like to ask everybody on the show is like that feeling of like always getting better, constant improvement. It's a Japanese saying called the kaizen, constant improvement. Yeah. And so that actually happened. I was just working out by myself 4.5 years ago. And I was just lifting weights by myself, and I might have been taking a little longer break from pull-ups or something. And then I sat down. I was like, you know what? When in doubt, go work out. Whatever. Fighting illness, fighting sickness with fitness. Yanagida Fitness. I was like, ooh, this sounds actually pretty dope.
Man.
It's actually pretty. I better do something to protect this. We have to, long story short. But what does fighting sickness with fitness mean to you, Chaz?
Oh, I said,
because you've been here for a while.
Yeah. For sure, 100%. Like I told you, man, I'm trying to be proactive rather than reactive. And I think about that saying all the time, because I used to see it everywhere, dude. Yeah. It was on my Instagram ads before I met you, right? Yeah. It was on my Instagram ads. It was I heard it on the radio, right? That's right. When I didn't have an aux cord yet. I have an aux cord in my truck. No. Frontier, bro. It's an old deck. Still got the aux running, bro. But when I used to listen to I'd hear it on the radio. I'd see it on Facebook when I used to use Facebook. I don't know, I disabilize it, and so I never really thought about it like I do now. Yeah. Right? Now I constantly when I'm working out or when I'm eating better, I'm just trying to fight sickness with fitness, right? Because at the time when I would see fighting sickness with fitness, I'm like, okay, is he advertising? I was like, what is he trying to advertise? But it's not advertising anything. It's a lifestyle. It 100% is a lifestyle. And I was just doing sprints the other night. Nice. At night, right? At night, you know, and my mom's like, what are you doing? Go inside. And I'm like, I'm fighting sickness with fitness, Mom. Jokingly, right? My music is blasting, so I'm like yelling at her, like, I'm fighting sickness with fitness, like jokingly. And that's when I thought of you, and I was like, damn, wonder how Justin's doing. But and so it means a lot to me, and I think that a lot of people need to understand that that's something that they need to do is the whole proactive rather than reactive thing, and that's what it means to me. Fighting sickness with fitness is doing what you can now, suffering now, so that when you're older you don't have to suffer. Right now, don't get me wrong, some things are unpreventable, right? But we're controlling what we can control, or at least attempting to. right? Or prolonging something.
Prolonging. That's so true.
Right? I want to be able to run around till I'm, old.
Yeah.
I want to be able to play around with my eventual grandkids. I want to be able to keep up with them. So it's something that is often, it's everywhere, right? But people don't think about it like they should, I think. So.
Dang, Chaz. And last thing, like this is just why, man. Like, I want to just acknowledge you, bro, because there's not a lot of people are in their 20s, like us, right? 20s or even like maybe early 30s sometimes. They won't see it like how you do, in terms of like, this is prevention. We're gonna prolong it. We might not be able to fully mitigate the risk, but we're gonna prevent it as much as possible, prolong it from happening. And all these things like brushing our teeth. We're gonna constantly brush our teeth so we don't get a cavity, instead of only brushing our teeth when we have a cavity.
Right.
So that's that whole analogy, and I just want to acknowledge you for that and your energy, bro. Every time you come in, you're always like, what's so? You're always good energy. You're a positive guy, and you work hard. You're very humble. I don't know, like you're really humble about yourself. And you're like, I'm just kind of average or whatever. I'm like, dude, this guy, bro. That's the humble, that's the humility.
No, it's just the truth, man. Likewise, though.
So I appreciate that.
Likewise,
so.
and you, everything that you just said is like you. So, I know that for sure. I know that. Being here for the amount of time that I've been here, right? Knowing you for the amount of time that I know you, I know it's likewise, my man. So,
right on.
But
yeah,
thank
Chaz,
you for everything.
You,
thank you for everything that you did.
Thank you guys, and if you guys watched and enjoyed this podcast, what are you guys doing? Subscribe. Check us out, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, and a whole bunch of other places. Yanagida Podcast.